Children are told from a very early age to line up in girls' lines and boys' lines and to wear different kinds of clothes and to play with different kinds of toys. And that just kind of embeds itself throughout the school system. So anyone who falls outside of the kind of heteronormative binary version of gender and sex kind of sticks out or feels themselves to stick out. I've done some research with young transgender people and their families, and this was really about all kinds of aspects of their experience, how often they're able to access the kind of mental health or clinical input that they need, and what their life is like at school and outside of school. One interesting finding was that single-sex schools aren't necessarily the worst place for a trans child. So I did speak to quite a few trans boys who had quite happily gone to girls' schools but were allowed to wear boys' uniforms. The problem arose because what schools generally did was respond to the one trans child that they had, rather than putting in place kind of policies around uniform and behaviour and things like that in advance of any trans child arriving. I think it's really important that organisations take a systemic approach. So it's great to have a visiting speaker come in, or for a class to discuss, say, same-sex marriage, but without the structural support, children might be sitting at the back of the class listening to people talking about these issues and feeling very unsafe. However, in a school where all the policies have been audited and updated in line with the Equality Act, so that gender reassignment and sexual orientation are covered in behaviour policies, in bullying policies and inclusion policies, it means that when you do have those conversations in class or the visiting speakers, you have the structure in place to address any problems that arise afterwards. I suppose what I would say to parents and teachers who want to support LGBTQ children and young people is to, if you're a teacher, to try and take that systemic approach. And if you're a parent, to try and ask for that systemic approach. People are worried that they maybe are going to say the wrong thing or they don't know how to do it. Well, there are loads and loads of resources out there. There are loads of organisations that you can talk to. So reach out, ask for support, don't suffer in silence, and know that there are loads of ways to resolve some of these problems. And also know that you already have the skills to address this stuff. If you're already used to dealing with the inclusion of children with SEND or tackling difference in terms of ethnicity or faith, then you have the skills that you need to look at LGBT inclusion.